Well, aren't you glad that I was angry?
Well,
let me tell you why. Okay, it's a compliment to you. If I'd have been apathetic, it would have meant you weren't important.
Yeah.
And my anger and my bitterness and my I didn't never love her, that was all from attachment.
Yeah.
We used to be lovers. And we used to really I think we liked being around each other. Instead, I'm looking back at my past like, that was really cool. We were part of something special.
Hi besties. Welcome back to my channel. Last night was basically a full-on masterclass in love bombing and hoovering. Breadcrumbing, the classic tactic narcissists use on their targets. Kody Brown wrapped Janelle up, sprinkled a few breadcrumbs her way, said some flattering things to her, love-bombed her, made her feel special, and knew exactly how to say every single thing that would land perfectly. And Janelle took it all in like she was standing at an all-you-can-eat buffet. She was starving for that attention and she was devouring every bit of it. She ate, kids. She seriously ate. Is that what the kids say these days? She ate, and honestly, I think this is exactly why Janelle's daughter, Maddie, said, I think he's just coming back because you're moving on and he wants to create chaos again. And I genuinely believe that Janelle would have stayed with Kody if he had not behaved the way he did with Robin, right? If he had just kept things neutral and not elevated Robin as the obvious favorite, she probably would have stayed because the woman literally said she had a good relationship with him. Her kids want nothing to do with him. Her daughter has called their relationship abusive. And yet she still ate up his words. Just watch how she reacted when Kody admitted he lied when he said he didn't love her. Kody, I think the meanest thing that I did was I said I didn't love you. That wasn't true. That was a lie from the perspective of pain. Janelle, I knew. I knew it. I knew that you loved me. I did. Like I know that we had a right relationship and I didn't understand. Like I was like, okay, whatever. But I knew it. I knew. Thanks for making that easy. I knew and it was fine. Like I knew. Did you see how her eyes lit up, y'all? Did you catch that? That smile and that emphatic, I knew. I knew. I knew. As if the meanest thing he ever said was that one statement about not loving her. It's not even about what he said. Her was the cruelest thing. Meanwhile, he said Janelle loves to act like a victim, he terrorized Janelle and her kids, he belittled her children. But the meanest thing to Janelle was him claiming he didn't love her. And she's over here saying, I knew we always had a great relationship. What part of their relationship was great? The part where he saw her once every 4 days? The part where he was never there? The part where she left him for 5 years, Janelle? The part where she left him 3 separate times? 3 times, Janelle. The part where she lived in a trailer on Coyote Pass? The part where he refused to give her money for a house? The part where he took money from her, stole money from her? The part where he convinced her to sell her Las Vegas home? The part where he planned to take all the money from Coyote Pass? The part where he never repaid her for the money she gave him for his Flagstaff house? Or the part where he berated her son and verbally abused him? Alienated him, made him the villain, villainized him so intensely that the boy's mental health deteriorated to the point he turned to alcohol and ultimately took his own life? But sure, she always knew he loved her. Janelle is a woman caught in a cycle of domestic violence and long-term abuse, with absolutely no frame of reference for what a healthy relationship looks like or what real love actually is, because Kody did not love her. None of that reflects love. What I just witnessed is a woman being tossed a tiny breadcrumb of validation, and he is swooning her, smoothing her over again, and honestly, I don't even know if he's actively trying to get back with her, but he's definitely planting that seed. Even she thinks that something is happening. She's in a place now where she's not as angry as she used to be, but that does not erase the reality that he is still going to stay with Robin, and every single problem would remain exactly the same. And then how would her kids feel if she went? This is why I believe her kids keep a very guarded distance when it comes to her and Kody's relationship. Maddie even said it on that podcast, her mom was always stuck in this loop, going back to an abuser and never putting the kids first. It's honestly heartbreaking. Then Janelle says, just because I've not had any kind of real emotional connection with him like this for a long time, I'm like, where is this going? I don't know. Do you know what I mean? At one point, I thought, wow, you're really bringing it on heavy. I'm like, if you're going to ask for some sort of reconciliation. I kept thinking, it wouldn't have made any sense, but he was just being so intense and so like trying to connect with me emotionally. And I just didn't know why. I just couldn't think of any reason why. I'm honestly confused why she's acting confused, because every single time they've been together on the show after splitting, Kody has tried to get back with her. Even that final meeting before selling Coyote Pass, Kody is sitting there eating those eggs, they're discussing what to do with the land she wants to sell, and Cody's like, well, what about us? And she says, we're done. He was trying to reconcile. Even this season, Robin was wondering what was going to happen with Janelle, whether reconciliation was possible, because Kody knows she is the easiest one to manipulate. That's my opinion. Maybe intellectually she gives him something Robin doesn't. Maybe she can talk to him in ways Robin cannot. I don't know. But I don't think he actually wants her back because he loves her. And I don't think she's going to take him back. But definitely he's planted the seed here, and she's soaking it all up, and it's just wow. And she even admitted right there that because it's been so long since he was ever nice to her, this suddenly feels meaningful. And then he tells her that he felt the safest telling her all this because he knew she would be the easiest one to receive it. Basically, Kody is perfectly aware she's the easiest for him to manipulate. She's the kindest, the most accommodating, the one who won't push back or challenge him. She's the one who, I believe, has very low self-esteem and has spent years surviving on the bare minimum from him to the point where literally anything feels like affection. And she's the only one of them, up to that point, who hasn't dated anyone else. She hasn't had a release from the relationship, no closure. She was still emotionally tied to him. So of course he would go to Janelle first. And if he could pull Janelle back in, Robin would be satisfied because they'd still be living in her bizarre fantasy of plural marriage. Kody, I think it would have been a lot safer for you. I feel like I put you in harm's way and then didn't step up to protect you. Janelle, wow. Thank you. Kody, and for that, and the fact that I didn't protect. Like we didn't know. We had no idea. There was no book or anyone advising you. There wasn't. But my mistake was just not being brave enough, man enough, strong enough, 'cause I know you didn't feel safe in that space. And here's where he shifts the blame to Meri. I put you in harm's way. I put you in danger. I wasn't man enough to have your back. I threw you to the wolves. I didn't protect you. I put you with the monster, Meri Brown, excuse me? No, he chose to bring in Meri's ex-sister-in-law behind Meri's back. He expected them to magically get along. He left them alone for weeks at a time while he went off doing whatever. This is just his classic tactic to dodge responsibility and make everything appear like it was Meri's fault. Was there conflict between them? Absolutely. Maybe even abusive conflict. But they were all only in that situation because of Kody. None of that environment would have existed without him orchestrating the chaos. They were fighting about Kody. They were struggling with the fact that one woman was someone's ex, the other was the brother's ex. Kody created the entire mess, and Janelle saying there was no book and no guidance? Total nonsense. They had an entire church community. They had leaders who instructed them. They had rules and structure in their church. Not that it works well, but pretending there was no blueprint is ridiculous. They had mentors, even if the mentors also failed. Because the system itself is impossible. And working through jealousy is basically their way of saying, if you just suppress your emotions enough, you'll earn heaven. It's absurd, so Kody blames Meri, and boom, no accountability for him. This isn't an apology. This is avoidance. Then he adds, I just didn't realize you weren't feeling safe. I thought about that scene in my mind, that scenario where you were there, and I just felt ashamed because you deserved to feel safe in that relationship and I failed that. Janelle, I think I had to sort of emotionally shut down to survive in those early years, and I think we just never got that back. So if I would have made you safe in that space, if you would have felt like I had your back, yeah, we would have, made a lot of difference. Remember last week when I said that I think Janelle coped with trauma by emotionally shutting down, cutting herself off from her feelings, and just bulldozing through? Like when you're in survival mode, the coping mechanism is to numb everything, avoid thinking, avoid feeling. And honestly, she still does that. She shuts her emotions off and refuses to process anything. That is exactly why Kody can reel her back in so easily. When you don't think about something, you can't heal from it. When you don't think about something, you can't heal from it. When you never process it, you can't move through it. If she just accepts everything as is and tunes out the parts that hurt, she can convince herself that everything was fine, or great, or beautiful. She can rewrite history in her own mind. And Kody telling her that if he would have had her back or if he would have been a safe space, none of that matters because none of it would have ever happened. Kody never had the capacity to be that man. Kody never cared about protecting or loving anyone but himself. In his mind, Kody is the only priority, and even now, after he's left, after she's left, after it's all over, this whole apology isn't about her healing. It's about his image. It's about making himself look good for TV. It's about repairing his ego. It's about trying to get her to stop talking negative about him. And I guarantee you, the second something annoys him, he'll go right back to throwing her under the bus, and he does. He starts accusing her of trying to orchestrate screwing over Meri because she controls the finances. He's just appeasing her in the moment, saying what she wants to hear, and none of it means anything, and honestly, it breaks my heart that she absorbs it all and internally wipes away all the pain she felt, because she never processed it in the first place. I just feel genuinely sad for Janelle, because this situation is only going to confuse her again and probably make her consider reconciling with him because of this emotional manipulation. Then Kody gives this line, and Janelle, you get the high honor of being the person I felt the safest with to start offering that olive branch. And she responds, oh, we did. We had a great, like I'm grateful for what we had. I really am. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for being cool about this. I'm glad you came. Like it was a great relationship. I still care about him and I think he still cares about me, but I don't, he's not in my life and I'm not going to be in his life and there's nothing there now. Kody told Robyn the real reason for his apology was that he wanted to set them free and get them to stop talking badly about him. That's literally what he said. He wanted silence. He wanted reputation control. And mid-conversation, Janelle can't even grasp what the apology is for, because he never makes it clear. He doesn't say, I want closure and to be amicable co-parents. They barely discuss their kids at all. She mentions Garrison getting a military headstone and the paperwork she's doing for that. And that she was going to get a headstone for the Wyoming grave. Kody says, oh, we can do that together. She says, sure. So now they're going to put a military headstone on his grave together, yet still, zero talk about the kids as a whole, zero acknowledgement of his neglect, zero apologies for the harm he caused them. Nothing, as long as they avoid discussing Robyn, Meri, Christine, or any of the kids, Kody can keep her focused solely on him and her, because that's the only way he can keep her emotionally hooked, but he's also deceiving her, because he never tells her the real motive behind the apology. He doesn't say, I want you to stop trashing me. He doesn't say, I'm apologizing to rehabilitate my image. Instead, he leaves her confused, wondering if this means reconciliation is possible, and if his stated goal was to set her free, he's doing the exact opposite. If you want to set someone free who is already free, you clarify, this is not about getting back together. This is not about restarting the relationship. This is about closure. But he doesn't say that. And next week she even admits that at one point she considered whether she would reconcile with him. There is nothing in any of this that indicates reconciliation is actually she didn't take responsibility for anything. And she does mention at the end that, it would be nice if he could rebuild relationships with his kids. But what Kody has figured out about Janelle is that if he can get her to stop thinking about all the other parts of this situation and just get her to concentrate on him and her, he can manipulate her. She used to be far more grounded before Garrison's death. And I honestly think part of this is him taking advantage of her grief and the vulnerability that comes with it, because before Garrison passed away, she was much more firm in the reality that, it doesn't matter what you say, Kody, all of that chaos still exists. If I came back, all of that chaos would still be there if I stayed. It never would have worked, and they didn't have a strong relationship. You don't walk away from a great relationship. You don't uproot your entire life and move across the country and not even tell your ex you're leaving in the middle of the night if things were wonderful. You don't leave a city if the relationship was solid. You don't cut off communication, go completely no contact, and your kids don't stop talking to their dad if everything was healthy. It was not a great relationship. And I just feel sad that Janelle, at her age, still can't see it. And I don't know if she ever will. I just hope that at some point she gets therapy and finally breaks away from him because he is so toxic and so abusive. And this apology was absolutely disgusting, and I just feel sad. So tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed, and hit the bell so you never miss a video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye bye.